Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Osirus and today I want to share a bunch of things I really wish I'd known before I started my first playthrough of Pokémon Legends ZA. Now I've spent over 20 hours already exploring Lumiose City and these are the early game tips that'll genuinely help you get the most out of your first playthrough. From settings and battle mechanics to Mega Shards, charms, and even a few shiny hunting details. So let's get straight into it. Now shortly after you begin your playthrough in Legends ZA, the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your settings. Now you'll be able to access the settings by hitting the L shoulder button on the main menu screen. And while ZA doesn't have loads of options, a few small tweaks here can make your playthrough way smoother. Now under gameplay, I recommend switching your text speed to fast. It's such a simple thing, but makes dialogue feel a lot snappier. You can toggle controller rumble here too, and decide whether your minimap stays fixed or rotates with your character. I keep mine fixed, but it's definitely just down to personal preference. If you hit the R shoulder button, you'll head over to the camera settings. This is where you can invert vertical or horizontal controls and adjust your camera sensitivity. It's definitely worth finding a perfect setup for you that feels natural early on. Next up, we've got game settings, and this one is the biggest change. Note that autosaves cannot be turned off. The game saves automatically when you enter a new zone, fast travel, or after catching or defeating a Pokemon. That means if you run into a shiny, be cautious. Autosave could trigger before you reset. Manual saving is still your safest option here, but autosaves not being able to be disabled is a big one coming into this new title. And lastly here we can check out the control sections. It's actually worth reading through all of the options here because every button seems to have multiple uses depending on what you're targeting or doing in game. Now maps, missions, and fast travel. So once you get through the main bulk of the intro, you'll eventually unlock the maps and your missions. Your main missions guide the story, and you can press A on any of them to turn on navigation guidance. It's perfect if you ever get lost or just don't know where you're going. And there's some big quality of life improvements as well, with fast travel being unlockable shortly after you begin your playthrough whenever you visit any location like Pokemon centers, cafes, wild zones, or key buildings for the first time. Having these fast travel points is a massive time saver later on, so make sure you pop into every new location when you pass it on your way. And talking about quality of life updates, we do have access to a simple feature where if you tap B once to run continuously, you'll not need to hold this button down. It's a small thing, but it makes exploring so much nicer. Next up, we've got some exploration tips, Mega Shards, and money. Now, something I wish I'd done right from the start is collect Mega Shards early on. Now, these appear as purple crystals scattered around Lumiose City, and just like Pokemon, you can target these objects and attack them with your Pokemon. Once you've blown them to smithereens, you'll be able to get the rewards and collect the shards they drop. These are super valuable later on when you start buying Megasons, so grab every one that you see early on in your playthrough. And these aren't the only things that you'll want to pick up. Throughout your adventures through Lumiose, you will see Pokeballs and other shiny objects scattered literally everywhere. My advice would be just to collect everything. Even if the item isn't useful for your playthrough itself, you can sell these at the closest Pokemon centers to fund some other expenses that will undoubtedly come up later in the game. Also, another thing that you'll notice around the game is while you're exploring, you'll occasionally run into obstacles that block your path. Some of them will look like this, these boulders, and early on in your playthrough, you will get access to the move Rock Smash, which will actually break these, but it's not just dependent on Rock Smash. Other fighting type moves can break these boulders as well. You'll get other obstacles like branches or thorny bushes, and you can use certain fire type attacks to remove these from your path. And other obstacles you'll see are these sludge piles. To remove these, you'll need a psychic type move. Something like Confusion can do the job, but other psychic type attacks will work as well. Oh, and before we move on, early into your playthrough, this NPC will start appearing outside of Pokemon centers. If you speak to them, they will offer up all of the Pokeballs you have used on failed captures. And these are all free of charge, so essentially giving you a second chance to use them again without having to spend any extra Pokédollars. Now, battles in Legends ZA are in real time, so they feel a lot more active than traditional Pokemon fights. In battle, you lock onto an opposing target by using the ZL button. Once that's done, your 4 move options will then show up on the face buttons A, B, X, and Y. Now you can switch Pokemon in battle by using your D-pad directions and pressing up to throw a new Pokemon out or pressing down to bring it off the field. Taking a Pokemon back can help you avoid incoming attacks, but be aware that the incoming Pokemon will have a cooldown period before it can attack, so it might be vulnerable if not timed correctly. Also be mindful of your positioning in battle. If you're standing further back from the attacking Pokemon, your Pokemon will move closer to follow you, which gives you a bit more space to avoid incoming attacks. But when your Pokemon uses close range moves, they'll naturally stay nearer the opponent, which makes them more vulnerable to taking hits in return. And on top of this, every move has its own cooldown time shown in the move summary. Quick moves like Tackle recharge faster, while stronger ones and status moves like Ember and Smokescreen can take a bit longer between uses. Try to build movesets that mix quick and slow attacks, that way you're not left waiting on cooldowns while taking a relentless amount of hits. Now, a little bit like Legends Arceus, Pokemon don't evolve automatically in Legends ZA either. Once they hit their evolution level, a small icon appears next to their portrait in your menu screen. From there, you can choose to evolve them manually or leave them as they are if you prefer that stage. Totally up to you. Changing moves is super smooth this time as well. When your Pokemon learns a new move, open its summary, go to the move tab and press X, and this will show you all of its learnable moves, and you can freely swap them around. I like to adjust mine before boss battles in particular, and maybe double up on 2 fire type moves or change coverage depending on the matchup. Remember, you can always switch them back afterwards with no cost incurred. Now, a few hours into your playthrough, you'll meet a character called Tarragon. He gives you a red Canary plush that boosts your team's experience gain. There are 5 other plushes in total, and each with their own benefits, and they kinda act like this game's charms. There is the red Canary plush, which increases experience gain. There is the gold Canary plush, which boosts prize money. A pink plush increases Mega Shard drops. The green one reduces the chances of blacking out. There is a blue Canary plush as well, which improves your catch rates, essentially being the same as the catching charm. To obtain the other Canary plushes, you can do this by speaking to the NPC outside of the Racine construction building in Vert Section 7, just east of the Pokemon Center near Hotel Z. You'll trade or upgrade them in exchange for colorful screws. These items are easily identifiable by their purple glow. The Pokeballs that hold them have in and around scaffolding in Lumiose City, which are definitely easy to spot and stick out when you walk past them. So a big tip here is any scaffolding you do see, definitely try and tackle it, get to the top of it. These puzzling mini mazes are definitely a lot of fun, but normally the rewards lying at the top of them is definitely worth the time you take exploring them. Now, each level upgrade for the Canary plushes costs a few more screws each time. 3 for level 1, 5 for level 2, and 8 for level 3. So I kind of worked it out, you'll need around 77 colorful screws in total to max out all 5 charms. And just so you know as well, I do plan to have a guide for all of the colorful screw locations on the channel as soon as possible, so keep an eye out for that one when it drops. Now, research tasks and Pokédex progress. Once you meet Mabel, you'll unlock your Pokédex research tasks, which are a big part of how you earn rewards and progress your rank. There are 50 levels in total. Rewards range from TMs and EXP candies to the shiny charm at the very end. Each task gives you points for catching, battling, defeating, or evolving Pokemon, and higher ranks require more points as you go. My advice is check the research tasks frequently. Some are very straightforward, like visiting a cafe with your Pokemon, but the biggest thing is to just catch and defeat everything you see. Even early game Pokemon contribute towards your research totals, and it'll save you a ton of grinding later when you're going for that shiny charm. Catching Pokemon is of course a little different in Legends ZA to other Pokemon titles. Now, when you first spot a Pokemon, you can either attack it or throw a Pokeball straight away. You can keep trying to catch it until the Pokemon becomes enraged, and once that happens, you'll only be able to battle it until it calms down. So keep a close eye on the status icons above its head, and when those symbols disappear, it means you can start throwing Pokeballs at it once again. And here's a big tip for you: if you knock a Pokemon out, throw a Pokeball as soon as you can. If you hesitate, it'll despawn after a few seconds, meaning you'll lose that chance to catch it completely. Now here's the bit all you shiny hunters are going to be looking out for, and you'll be happy to know that shiny Pokemon do appear in Legends ZA, and when they spawn in the overworld, they've got that same sparkle animation and jingle that we had in Legends Arceus, or at least very similar to that. Either way, it makes shinies really easy to spot when you're exploring in and around Lumiose City. But outside of that, as it is still very early days, shiny odds and mechanics haven't been fully data mined or published yet. So for now, we're assuming the base odds are the standard 1 in 4096. Outside of the shiny charm, we don't yet know what specific methods, if any, can improve those odds to help you shiny hunt more efficiently in Pokemon Legends ZA. But don't worry, as soon as this info is out in the wild, I'll put together a full shiny hunting breakdown video covering every known method, the best places to hunt, and how to get the most out of your time shiny hunting in Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, wild zones. Each wild zone has a set number of Pokemon that you'll be able to find within it, and depending on the wild zone, all Pokemon within it will be capped at a set level. On every wild zone entrance, it will also give you a recommended level range, which is helpful to give you an idea of what level you'll need your own Pokemon to be to have success. Now, some Pokemon in these wild zones can be also hard to find. Be mindful that some Pokemon will only spawn in the day and some may only spawn at night, while others may take a little bit more time to appear due to being extremely rare. One tip that would have helped me a lot in my initial playthrough is knowing that the benches around Lumiose can be used to cycle day to night and night to day, so finding some of those specific Pokemon that only appear at certain times can be a little easier using these benches. And for your information, if you find yourself hunting for benches, there's always one you can use located right next to any of the Pokemon centers around the city. Also, a quick tip here, remember there are no Pokemon centers in the wild zone, so before you go on your adventure catching all the Pokemon in there, just make sure to stock up on potions and healing items, just in case things start to get rough. Now, the ZA Royale is one of my new favorite features. Every night, a red holographic area appears on your map, and that means the ZA Royale has begun. And don't worry about having to run there or travel there, you can always fast travel to wherever the ZA Royale is. Inside, you'll battle trainers to earn points toward your current rank. Once you earn enough, you'll get a promotion ticket which lets you challenge a tougher opponent, win, and you move up the ranks. But each new rank does take more points to reach than the previous one. So the battles get harder and the grind gets harder with it. You can also collect blue holographic tickets. You'll see these floating around in the ZA Royal areas as soon as you venture in. These blue holographic tickets give you bonus points for completing special tasks during battles, like sneaking up on an unsuspecting trainer or landing super effective attacks into an opponent. You can carry 3 of these holographic tickets at one time and swap them out for more favorable ones if you find them. If you complete them, you can just pick up another one as you go. But once the ZA Royale ends for that evening, those tickets end with it, and you'll have to find new ones the next evening when the ZA Royale commences again. Definitely something that you want to keep an eye out for and take full advantage of. And definitely pick up the gold coins lying around the area. They're converted into Pokédollars at the end of each evening, so it's basically free money while you're battling. So there we have it. Those are some of my best early game tips for Pokemon Legends ZA so far. Hopefully this video has helped you out and you get the most out of your first playthrough, or maybe some of them just save you a few headaches along the way. As always, if you found any cool tips or hidden tricks during your own playthrough, drop them down in the comment section below. I'd love to feature some of your discoveries in a future video when we do maybe an update to this one. If this video has helped you out, do consider dropping a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our Pokemon Legends ZA content. Thank you as always for tuning in, friends. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Legends ZA Day, and I'll see you all in another video very soon. So until then, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.